if you're not passionate about providing the service, don't even think about becoming an educator.
100%, because that's what you're imparting on people. If you're not imparting passion on people, you're actually going to turn people off. You're going to tune people out, you know?
Yes, unless you're eating, breathing, living, sleeping, that thing that keeps you up at night, it's going to be very difficult for that to shine through when you're teaching.
Welcome to Glow Up Boss, the business school for beauty entrepreneurs. Having trained over 8,000 women to build and run profitable beauty businesses, I'm here to share knowledge and skills to put you on the fast track to grow your business and glow up your life. I'm your host, Veronique Munro. With 20 years experience as a product developer, celebrity spray tan artist, and founder of multiple sunless tanning companies, I've launched products and methods that have become today's industry standard. This podcast is where you will learn what you need to build your business from the ground up. You'll hear from industry experts on how to build a thriving customer base, grow revenue, buy back your time, and create the freedom to live life on your terms. It's time to discover the boss within you. Get ready to glow up. Welcome to Glow Up Boss. I'm telling you, every time I sit down with a guest, and I don't know if it's the universe conspiring to bring me the highest quality human beings on the planet, but I truly and honestly feel incredibly blessed today. So I'm sitting here with a woman, and she is a woman who's been in the beauty industry for over 2 decades. She started out as a celebrity manicurist. She's worked with some of the top of the top of the top in the entertainment industry. She was named #1 manicurist by Allure magazine. I mean, seriously, I feel like I'm in the presence of this demigod in the beauty world. This woman has single-handedly grown a brand. I mean, unbelievable, created educational systems that have influenced an entire industry of natural nail polish. I'm sitting here with Silva Nahabedian of Dazzle Dry. Welcome, Silva.
Thank you so much for having me, Veronique. It's an honor and a privilege to be here.
You're a legend in your industry.
Thank you. For those who know, I suppose.
So I want to hear all about you. I want to hear how you got started as a manicurist. I want to hear all about your journey, starting studios, working with celebrities, creating education, becoming a woman, an empowered woman in this industry, and what it takes to do that. Tell me all things, Silva.
I would be happy to. Of course, from a young age, I knew that I always wanted to be in the beauty industry. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do hair, skin, or nails. And ultimately, I ended up choosing nails. And while I was in school, I learned that I was very allergic to acrylics and artificial enhancements. So I was forced into a career of natural nails in the 90s, at a time where natural nails were not cool. And so acrylics were everything back then.
I remember I had them.
The long pink and white acrylics. And so when I came out of beauty school, my colleagues told me, I worked in a salon where there was about 13 manicurists at the time. And they said, kid, you got to learn how to do acrylics, wear masks, wear gloves. And I refused to compromise my health in order to make someone's nails look pretty. So I specialized in natural nails at a time where it wasn't cool and it was very difficult to set yourself apart from everyone that was doing the fake nails. And so the best way to motivate me is tell me that I can't do something. And so that lit the fire underneath me. And at a time where there was no YouTube, Instagram, industry trade shows, how do you become the best at what you do? Well, by apprenticing, by hovering over your colleagues' shoulders, by booking services at other salons and learning sometimes what people do, that some techniques you can borrow from them, but also learning what not to do. I remember getting a pedicure where somebody's nails were too long and they were pinching my toes and it hurt. And I thought, okay, mental note, I'm going to keep my nails short when I'm working on my clients. So I ended up crafting this unique proprietary manicuring and pedicuring protocol that was unique to me. And within 10 months at a beauty school, I built a solid clientele and never took new clients again. Because once people came to me, that was it. They were stuck with me for life. And eventually, and this was in Scottsdale, Arizona, by the way, and then 8 years into my career, life took me to Los Angeles. And that's where I was shoved into the entertainment industry. And as a young manicurist, that was a scary place to be because I didn't know what to expect. There were no courses or any tools or anyone guiding me or mentoring me and showing the way. I was just right place, right time, ended up with the most phenomenal agent in Los Angeles called Cloutier. And before I knew it, I was voted best manicurist in Los Angeles by Allure magazine, like you had mentioned. And I thought, who the heck am I? How the heck did I get here? How did this happen? And during that time, whether it was my clients I left in Scottsdale or it was my new clients in LA, all I kept hearing is, Silva, nobody does it like you do. You need to clone yourself. You need to teach. Guess what? That was like the scariest thing in the world to me, Veronique. Like, me teach? I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to do that. And so, or you need to open up a bigger salon. You need to hire more Silvas and show everybody because you're so hard to get in with. And I didn't have the confidence as a young manicurist to do that. And sometimes the world forces you into opportunities that you have no choice but to level up and to step up.
Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your way, right?
I literally had to get out of my own way. Yes. And so I ended up coming back to Arizona because in LA, the writer's strike happened, the economy tanked, and I wanted to just come back to my normal clientele. Ended up moving back to Arizona and eventually became a licensed manicurist instructor because I knew I had a gift inside of me that I needed to share with the industry.
And you like to teach.
I didn't know I liked to teach until I started to teach. And I realized by the feedback I was getting that not only was I changing people's lives, but I was putting more money in their pocket by the tools and techniques I was teaching them, that I realized, holy crap, the information I have is helping people to become successful in their careers.
So you were teaching. You liked to teach, but you didn't know it.
I didn't know it. Exactly. Exactly. And now I realize this is my passion. I am a teacher. Once I got out of my own way and trusted myself, I realized I was actually really good at it. And so an opportunity presented itself to me in 2015 where I discovered a product called Dazzle Dry, which is basically the most revolutionary nail polish on the market. Once I discovered it in my practice, the question I had is, what is this voodoo magic stuff? Why doesn't everybody know about it? Why isn't it in every salon and spa? Why isn't every natural nail enthusiast aware of it? And I blindly reached out to the company, asked to take a meeting with the CEO and president. She graciously accepted. And our first meeting was 3 hours long. And we realized that we were meant to be together. Here she had this hero product that needed education. She's got her PhD in bioorganic chemistry. This is Dr. Vivian Valenti. And she said, Silva, I'm not a nail tech, but if you want to partner together as my director of education, let's grow this brand together. And this was 2015. I was employee number 6 to join the company. And as a result of teaching people how to use the product correctly, we then grew from 6 employees to now nearly 100 employees. Plus, I have a huge team of what we call regional education ambassadors all over the country. My clones that go out and teach people how to use this hero product. And that's how we have grown. I always say sales is truly disguised as education.
I know that from the spray tanning industry,
right?
Developing sunless tanning products and getting them into businesses and educating people on how to provide the services and how to sell retail and how to grow their businesses. It's what drives sales, education.
That's exactly right, Veronique. But it's hard to scale in-person training. So that's where I had to pivot and create online training as well. So in about 2001, actually it was COVID that forced me to create an e-course, as did so many other people. That was the ultimate pivot. That was our word for 2020, 2021. And I had to figure out how to create an e-course, talk about pushing me out of my comfort zone. As artists in the beauty space, we don't often see ourselves as, we're creatives, but we don't often have the technical skills to launch these things. Talk about pushing you out of your comfort zone in order to figure out how to do things you otherwise never would have done. And so launching an e-course platform reduced in-person training by over 90%. And so what that did for my company is it saved in travel expenses and having to pay people to go out and train, because now it became so accessible and it's a complimentary course. And when you have a product you're trying to sell, it behooved us to have a complimentary course in order to set people up for success.
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about building a team.
It's hard enough finding good service providers in the beauty industry. I always say we don't have a shortage of manicurists in this country because there's over 350,000 licensed manicurists. But it's hard to find those needle in a haystack rock star manicurists that specialize in natural nails. And so what I learned was when I go out to teach in person, and by the way, just to kind of paint a picture, our clientele is not only salons and spas, but we have huge corporate partnerships with all the Marriott's, Montages, Ritz-Carlton's, Four Seasons. So when I'm going and traveling, I'm not going to shabby places. Like, we're going to amazing places with beautiful spas. A lot of times when I'm teaching, I always tell my team, a sign of a class well taught is when by the end of that class, one or two of the students or the learners asks you if you're hiring. So by the time I'd finished teaching, somebody would pull me aside and said, I'm really intrigued by your teaching style. I'm really intrigued by your product. Are you looking for educators? And so that's how I have attracted every single educator I've ever hired. I've never had to go look for one. Just by authentically showing up as myself and doing what I do best and teaching and within my zone of genius, those who are attracted to that type of style or energy or topic, they will come to you and ask you if you're hiring. And that's really how I've grown my team of regional education ambassadors.
That's amazing. How do you manage that team from an infrastructure standpoint?
Well, from an infrastructure standpoint, they are independent contractors. So a lot of them, the criteria is they must be natural nail care specialists. They must be licensed manicurists. So this means they're probably either they have their own salons or spas, or they're working within one. So this is really what I call their side hustle. Mm-hmm. It's not a full-time gig. It's on an as-needed basis. And so what I do is I do all the recruiting, the onboarding, the training, and the managing myself. And I do have a team that also helps me, but I'm very hands-on. And so we have like quarterly meetings where I'm always teaching them whatever it is they need to learn, but typically we're talking about new products, and I teach them how to teach. If they are a good manicurist, I don't care if they have any experience teaching because I can teach them that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they teach other nail technicians, other manicurists how to use the products.
Specifically, yes. But having said that, while we're out in the field teaching people how to use this hero product called Dazzle Dry, we are also imparting wisdom on them that elevate their skills as a manicurist.
Okay.
So by helping, it's not a full-blown how to be a manicurist course that we teach, but by offering little tips and tricks and hints, whether it's nail filing or cuticle care, it only lays a stronger foundation for our product to perform better.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So let's speak to like anyone in the beauty industry, whether they're a lash artist trying to build an educational team for their lashes, or say they have products for brows, or even like a spray tanning brand. Right. How would you go about building out that type of support system of educators?
First of all, making sure that you have educated them on all the intricacies of the product. Before anyone comes to me and wants to be an educator for me, they have to be an enthusiast of the brand. Mm-hmm. I can't teach you how to fall in love with the spray tan products.
Right.
I can teach you how to use it.
Right.
And so unless somebody recognizes the superiority of the product that you're offering, whether it's eyelash extensions or any type of, microblading or whatever your craft is, that person has to have that innate passion and that heart and that love affair for that thing. Mm-hmm. If they don't have that thing, it's a deal breaker for me. Mm-hmm. I look for that heart. So if somebody wants to join my team as an educator and they've never used our products before, I don't want to crush their spirit and say, no, you cannot become an educator. Actually, what I'll do is I'll send them products, or sometimes they'll buy products on their own. And I say, become intimately familiar with the product, use it, commit to it for the next 8 weeks, and then come back to me and tell me if you still want to be an educator.
So you'll train them on the product.
I will, yes.
They'll get the product and you'll teach them. And then when they become like passionate believers in the product and show that they can do, 5-star services.
Yes.
And they can get on board and be passionate and even sell the product. That's when you know that they can actually become an ambassador for
100%.
For
because if you can't evangelize whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your craft is, if you're not wholeheartedly bought into it, you're not going to be able to teach it as passionately as I would like for you to teach it. So first and foremost, become a student of your craft, get to know it intimately, decide if this is the thing for you before you choose to become an educator. The mistake that a lot of people will make, Veronique, is you've heard the saying, those who can't teach.
Yes.
And you'll unfortunately find that a lot in beauty schools, which is crushing because most people don't have a good beauty school experience because people who didn't succeed at their craft think, well, I think I'm just going to become an educator because I suck at this hairstyling thing.
Yep.
And that never sets anyone up for success. So if you're not passionate about providing the service, don't even think about becoming an educator.
100%, because that's what you're imparting on people. If you're not imparting passion on people, you're actually going to turn people off. You're going to tune people out,
Yes, unless you're eating, breathing, living, sleeping, that thing that keeps you up at night, it's going to be very difficult for that to shine through when you're teaching.
I found that with my sunless tanning brand. I really have. I mean, I've had educators through the years. Some have been amazing and some have been okay. Yeah. The amazing ones are always the people that wake up and eat, sleep, and breathe the brand.
That's it. That's it. You nailed it.
100%. Okay. I want to talk about something else that I think is really important, and that's scaling. Yeah. So, you started out initially as a service provider, but there are only so many hours in the day, right?
Yes.
You can't clone yourself, but you don't also want to be like trapped in your earning potential. You don't want to be capped out. Talk to me as a business person who has a craft, who has a trade, but who also doesn't want to be capped and wants to be able to generate an income that really commiserates their experience and their passion and what they bring into the world of beauty.
Absolutely. We're living in some of the most incredible times in history, and we're so fortunate to be able to maximize our earning potential beyond service dollars. And how do you do that in this day and age? First and foremost, if you have a brick and mortar salon, spa, whatever your business is, make sure you're retailing, supporting products to help your customer maximize that experience that you gave them in the salon or spa. That's going to help help them have lasting results and help to maximize that service you just provided. That's kind of the most basic method. Then beyond that is affiliate marketing. Many companies now offer affiliate marketing so that you can take that hero product that you love to use, become a brand ambassador for them, and generate passive income just by talking about it on your social channels.
I love that. Glow Up Boss podcast is brought to you today by Infinity Sun. Are you an entrepreneur thinking that you'd like to start a new business that's fun, that doesn't cost a lot of money to start up, that you could do in the evenings and weekends and earn lots and lots of money? Starting a spray tanning business definitely checks off all those boxes. With state-of-the-art plug-and-spray proprietary spray tanning systems that require only one solution, you can literally choose 30 different levels of spray on the spray tanning system itself. Infinity Sun offers sunless tanning solutions that combine high-end skincare together with sunless tanning technology to not only create the most flawless looking tans, but also to improve the condition of the skin. When you talk about setting up an affiliate marketing program, what is the IT infrastructure for that?
Yeah, so the IT infrastructure would be to find a reliable affiliate marketing company that does all the back end work, like all of the commission payouts. And so you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. There's affiliate marketing platforms that figure all that out for you. And you simply provide your clients with a link, and they automatically get a check sent to them every month.
I know it's like PR firms, for example, like when they go out to like all the beauty magazines won't even talk to you unless you have an affiliate program in place. What is that big one that everybody's using right now?
We use something called Share a Sale.
Share a Sale, yes, that's what it is.
So I'm pretty sure that's the one we use right now. And I'm not a part of the marketing department. My official title is Director of Education, but that's the one that sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah. And so not only do the beauty about our business is we cater to the B2B, business to business, as well as D2C, direct to consumer. Yep. So we happen to have a product that's conducive to either, whether you're a service provider in a salon or you're a DIYer at home. And we provide both of those people the opportunity to become an affiliate and generate some extra income, because how often do you tell everybody you know about an amazing eye cream you just found or a peptide cream or whatever the case may be? And so that's how our company has grown, truly word of mouth. Like every time somebody learns about it, they tell their friends about it. And now they have a way to generate revenue just as a DIYer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Is there an actual B2B platform for the affiliate to do an affiliate link? Are you aware of it?
Yes, it's the same one. The same
it
one
is Share a Sale as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
it could accommodate both.
Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about different ways to generate income. So retail sales, affiliate marketing. Let's talk a little bit about retail sales. I know you teach robust retail sales.
Yes.
What do you think are like the top 3 things that a service provider would need to know to grow retail sales?
First of all, merchandising.
Okay.
Make sure that it looks nice on your shelf. A lot of times when you see people have onesie, twosie product, they're not dedicated to a true retail department within their business establishment. Make sure it's merchandised well. Make sure it's visually appealing. Make sure you have nice shelf talkers that speak to the features and benefits of the products that you're retailing. I think that's first and foremost. Second is educating your guests on the product. Kind of like when you're getting a facial. I love it when the esthetician tells me every product they're using, every step they're taking, and why. What is the desired outcome? And that's how I was as a manicurist for many years. Doesn't matter if it was your first appointment with me or if you've been coming to me for 20 years. I want to educate you. The better I educate you, the more you're going to want to take those ancillary support products home to extend the life of your manicure or pedicure. So visually, sexy merchandising, education, and also don't price gouge your customers. Whatever the manufacturer's suggested retail price is, stick with that, because the moment they find it a little less expensive on Amazon, that's where they're going to buy it. So make sure you stay price competitive.
That's really great advice. I love that. How do you educate people not to, well, there are two things. To either not come off as too salesy or to educate the technician that sales isn't a bad thing. I know, especially like a lot of estheticians, for example, they hate the idea of being a salesperson. And how do you help people to get over that?
Great question, and ultimately boils down to solving problems for people. Ask open-ended questions to identify what the problem is that they're dealing with, and then offer them a solution. And truly, again, that's sales disguised as education.
Totally.
And once you educate somebody on the features and benefits of a product and how it's going to help them, then it's a no-brainer.
100%. So you're helping someone get the best results with the service that you're providing rather than selling them a product.
Precisely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what else would you recommend a service provider do to increase their earning potential as a beauty service provider?
First of all, I would say stay educated. Keep your finger on the pulse of all things current in your industry. Because a lot of times as service providers, we get so complacent and so comfortable in our day-to-day routine that, especially when you've been doing it as long as I have, this is my 28th year as a natural nail care specialist. And while I don't have a practice anymore, while I'm director of education, I'm still a manicurist. That's how I identify myself. And I still plug into classes, take continuing education. Nobody requires it of me. And so when you keep your finger on the pulse of all things current and you're plugged into your industry, you can, when a client asks you about something that you don't offer, at least you're well educated and you can speak to that service. And so that's kind of, I don't know that answered your question, but I'm really big on staying connected and current on education.
Well, I think you have to know your industry.
Yeah.
If you want to be an expert, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be an innovator, you have to have your finger on the pulse. You have to know all the different angles. You have to know the entire ecosystem inside and out, right?
In a world that's
ever-changing
so fast. Yes. I agree.
In a world that's ever-changing. Okay, now what about in terms of like the digital aspect of the business? So if you're someone who's really good at your trade, if you're someone who's really good at selling, someone really good at educating, how do you make the most of today's digital platforms to really get your knowledge, your expertise out there?
Such a good question. And may I be very vulnerable in this moment?
Please do.
So, as a manicurist, as creatives, whether you're a brow artist, tanning artist, lash artist, esthetician, hairstylist, whatever your craft is in the beauty business, we often become so obsessed with our craft that we don't know how to edit videos. We don't know how to create podcasts. And this is me. I'm speaking vulnerably as I had to stop looking at this as my weakness. You know, I can teach nails all day long. I can speak in front of a camera all day long, but ask me to edit a video or post it or upload it, download it, whatever the heck people do, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And what I know is that it's not within my comfort zone. It's not within my zone of genius. And this is where we have to hire people to help us. This is where we have to hire people that are experts in their craft. And we're not meant to do it all. And it's okay if this is not your strength, but just know when to hire people that can do it better than you can.
Or facilitate and teach you and help you. Maybe you don't do all of it, but you're going to show up as the expert, as the talent, right? And have someone else capture it and edit it and package it. So it's appealing and, you know, it actually works. So how do you monetize? So you bring that expertise, you video it, you have someone who's editing it. How do you monetize? There are thousands of homeless dogs in the pounds and shelters and running all over the streets, and not enough people out there to help them. Sprays for Strays is a fundraising organization that raises money through the sunless tanning and beauty industry to help all the rescues all over the United States of America pull the dogs out of the pounds and shelters, get them vetted, get their vaccinations, get them spayed and neutered, help with any sort of behavioral issues, and help to get them into their forever homes. Go to spraysforstrays.com and become a member or donate. Every little bit of support helps. Thank you to our sponsor, Sprays for Strays, for helping to save the lives of dogs, one spray tan at a time.
Personally, in a business like ours, again, knowledge leads to sales. And so the more I can educate people on how to use the products correctly, the more it's going to lead to sales. And so the more people are comfortable with a product, the more they're going to buy it and they're going to become successful with it. So that's one way to monetize it.
As an expert, we have to be so careful to not leave money on the table, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to earn as experts in our industries. And if we don't, someone else is going to do it.
So true.
I think that's where we sit with this today, right?
Absolutely.
How do we take all those years of research, of experience, of imparting our wisdom and bring it all together, marry it with today's technology and really get paid what we're worth? Isn't that what it comes down to?
Oh, I felt that one, Veronique.
Right?
Yes.
Like a wave.
Yes. That's exactly what it boils down to. Yes.
And that's the big question mark out there.
I know. I know. Yeah. And there will be a next phase for me as I do teach a master's course on natural nail care but not on a digital platform, just one-on-one. I do a lot of one-on-ones, but that's not scalable. And so what is scalable is taking all that information, taking all that masterful information in my brain and putting it into an e-course. So that will be a future project for me personally.
Silva, I can't wait to see what you birth out into the universe.
Thank you.
I'm like literally sitting on the edge of my seat waiting to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Truly, you're an inspiration woman. Okay. I always end my podcast episodes with 3 action items, 3 takeaways, 3 things that a service provider or an entrepreneur can take to move things to the next level for themselves. What is the first thing?
The first thing is if you have a little nudge in your gut that propels you towards change, trust it.
Okay.
There's that inner voice that is nudging at you like, hey, there's more for you. Hey, you're destined for more. You're meant for more. You don't have to know what that more is right then and there, but surrender to it, trust it, and follow the breadcrumbs.
Ooh, so we need to have them identify the breadcrumbs, write down the breadcrumbs, and then just focus on it and meditate on it and see what comes to light from it.
Precisely.
Okay, I love that.
And sometimes the way to do that, personally for myself, is get yourself out of the environment that you're in day to day.
Okay.
What I tend to do is I go to Sedona. I go ground. I stick my feet in that Oak Creek Canyon and I just sit with nature, and the answers always come to me. So that's one thing. Trust that little nudge. Actually, the second thing that I was going to mention was, if you feel stuck in your creativity, remove yourself from your day-to-day environment and move into nature, and the answers will come to you.
Oh my God, I love that. And I'll tell you why. I always say you have to move to a different vantage point to see things from a completely different perspective. And I've not been unknown to stand on top of a ladder to look down at a problem. Yeah. So remove yourself from your immediate environment, take yourself off somewhere so you can see things from a completely different perspective.
Absolutely. You have to, because you got to get away from the noise and get quiet and still enough in order to hear the answers.
Okay. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to have someone go somewhere different, change your environment.
Exactly.
To see things in a new perspective.
You'd be surprised how much it helps. And I call them downloads. That's when the downloads start pouring into my brain.
Okay.
And the third thing that I will say, Veronique, is truly invest in yourself before you invest in your business. And until you're aligned, mind, body, spirit, you're almost useless to your business. And so whatever that means for you, for everybody, it's something different. For me, it's meditation. It's my prayer life. It is breath work. It's being in nature. So investing in yourself and doing that deep, deep healing on yourself, whatever that means to you. I won't get too woo-woo on a business podcast, but invest in yourself before you invest in your business.
Well, let me tell you, Silva, you can't be too woo-woo with me. I'm as woo-woo-y as you can possibly get. And
that's why we jive.
And I believe in that. I think you have to go deep because you are your business.
Yeah.
Your business is an evolution of you personally.
It's so true. It's so true.
Well, you brought so much gold today, Silva. I thank you so much for taking your time to join me in this incredibly, I don't know when this episode is going to drop, but, we're in the middle of the wildfires in LA. And I know you can connect into that. I'm connecting into that right now and feeling all the vibrations and all the sadness and all the challenges and all the turmoil that's coming from it. So I know it took a lot for you and for me to come together today to have this conversation to benefit our listeners. So I'm sending you a really big hug full of gratitude. I'm so grateful to you today, Silva.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for allowing me to be here and share a little piece of my story with your audience.
Thank you.